So obviously people have got sunstroke and stayed in bed from this weather. But nice to see you. To see you nice, as an elderly gentleman would say. But welcome to the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters. And it's great to be back here at Blackpool with the whole set and everything. Really is great. And before we get carried away, I'd just like to say thank you to all of the club members who have turned up to do the stewarding and the cameras. You know, without you people coming in and helping us, it's very difficult. And you won't see people like Justin, who's the head of, I call him head of works because he seems to do just about everything round at Blackpool. But he came in to help us build all of this for the last 1.5 days. So, you know, to everybody here at Newton Hall, a massive thank you from myself and the players of the World Bowls Tour. So, you're looking forward to it. Who knows what it's about? Nobody. I'll give you a quick... what it is, there have been 8 events around the UK, and I'll just turn this way so you haven't got my back. Well, it's probably the better side, but it is, really. But there's 8 events around the country, and at those events they play a round robin which goes down to semi-finals and then 2 finals, and 2 players from each of those come here to a field of 16 players. And these 16 now play down to 2, and each one of the 2 gets automatic entry into all of the WBT televised ranking events in the coming season. Now that gives them the opportunity to, as well as prize money, which totals roughly, if you win all 3, you can go home with about £75,000. But you've got to win all 3. But more importantly, it gives them ranking points. And it's the ranking points they're after, because that can get them into the world's top 16. And once you're into that, and if you keep playing well and get into the world top 8, then things start opening up for you. To give you an idea, Alex Marshall got into the top 16 some, well, umpteen years ago now, and has managed to stay in it, and now he jets off all around the world, getting invites to play in various tournaments around it. So it's quite a big prize to win. And the players you'll see here over the next 3 days are some of the country's top players who have not yet made the top 16. And they're really a cracking bunch to work for. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for them. They're the best bunch of players I've ever come across. So, you know, that's what it's about, really. And it's good of you to get out of bed and come and watch them and give them a bit of support. We've got a few more people coming in during the day, hopefully. But I think we're about just dead on time to start to get the players in. Shall we bring them in, ladies and gentlemen? Let's make a bit of noise between us all. So first up, he's from Ireland. He's the Belfast Masters winner. He's got 120 caps for international play for his country. Please welcome Clifford Craig. And up against Clifford, ladies and gentlemen, he's from the north of England, and he's Crown Green's All-England champion, the only Crown Greener so far to make it onto the flat. Welcome, Craig Newton. And I'll hand you over to commentary with Janice Gower.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals 2015 here at the Blackpool Newton Hall Holiday Park. And we have a very interesting game for you. First up, we have one of the highly capped and most recognisable Irish players on the circuit, Clifford Craig, playing against the Crown Greener, Craig Newton.
28.5 metres.
Now, Craig qualified at the Lincoln venue. He was one of the last people to qualify for this event 2 weeks ago in a very, very interesting final game where he played Robert Gordon, who's been here before. Clifford Craig qualified at his home club in Belfast. Interesting start. Craig's gone fairly close. It'll be a nervous couple of first ends for the players. Clifford has played at this level before. He's qualified before at the World Championships, and of course Craig qualified this year for the World Championships. Craig's a crowner. He turns his hand to the indoor game very, very well, so it'll be interesting to see how this game pans out. Craig looks on a great line here again, folks. Clifford will just be looking to draw down onto the back bowl of Craig Newton's there, just rest off it. He looks a tad on the tight side.
2 green.
For those of you out there who like to know what the players are playing with, Clifford Craig plays with the Taylor Ace, size 4, and Craig Newton's Drake's Pride player. He's opted to play with the XP here, a size 4. His normal bowl is a professional size 3, but he felt that the XPs performed well for him on this rink. Now Clifford, can we just get past that short bowl of Craig's? No, he's just dying short. Not exactly the first end that Clifford would have wanted. Well, Clifford just coming to have a look at this. I think he just needs to have a quick look, just calm down a little bit. Opening end, he's 2 shots against. Still a chance of just drawing, but his first 3 deliveries have all been tight to the head, so needs to try and get it on a decent line here. Very, very experienced player, Clifford. I'm sure we've got a few people listening in Ireland over there, seeing how our Hong Kong trunker's getting on. Well, he's in a bit of trouble at the first end. And of course, in these games, we don't play under the shot clock for the European Masters. So the players have a bit of time to spare and can come and visit the head after their 3rd bowl. Right, Clifford. Well, it looks like he's opting to try and just play into the head here. Experienced skip Ireland. It looks on target. Just slipping past. I think that gives
2 shots to Craig Newton.
Craig Newton a count of 2 on the first end. Of course, play here is over 2 sets of 9 ends. And if we get to the situation where after that it's tied, we go to a 3-end tie break. You can say both of these players very experienced players, but Craig Newton more experienced on the crown green side. I noticed he names his ambition, what he wants to do most in
Jack length 29.5 metres.
in the game here is to qualify for the new Super Bowl event. And the way he's performing here on the flat green against these regular indoor players, he's proving that he might be a good shout for that one. But it's early days in this game, and Clifford's just settling down. Very, very experienced player, as I mentioned before. He's won the British Isles title in the singles and the triples, and I believe the fours. Oh, very, very experienced skip for Ireland. Oh, Cliff.
One green.
Just dropping short again. Our marker Dan Blewett just letting us know the situation there. We've got Dan Blewett out on the rink marking, and Mike Davis is our umpire this morning. Very experienced team of the WBT officials here. These players are playing for a very important prize. There's 2 winners from this weekend, and those 2 winners will pick up tour card, which gets them into all the World Bowls Tour televised ranking events for next season, which gives them a great opportunity of earning ranking points to get into the top 16. So interesting weekend for all involved. An interesting end here. A lot of room there. Like I say, the opening ends of these 9-end sets tend to be a little bit nervy, where the players are just settling down. Both of these players have played under TV situations though, and this is the stepping point. The World Bowls Tour set this set and have the players playing with red and green, as they would do when they get to the full ranking events, just to get them that little bit of experience of playing under these situations. Well, Clifford, I think it's just a question of pick your hand here. Pick your hand and draw the wing bowl to the right hand side of your screen there, the green bowl of Craig Newton's. You can just dip inside that. A lot of the players playing in this direction on this rink favour the forehand though, so he could just lay down the forehand, beat his own back red bowl. It's really his own choice of which hand here he feels most comfortable on. Yeah, opted in for the forehand. Lovely hand this. Nice swinging hand. He looks on quite a tight line. I don't think he's reaching with this either. Oh, we'll be disappointed with that. Oh, Clifford, you'll be disappointed with that.
One shot, Craig Newton.
So Craig Newton picks up another single at the second end, takes a 3-0 lead. Of course, coverage here is all weekend. We have 3 further games for you at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and the same tomorrow, game at 10 o'clock, and then 3 games at 1 o'clock. And then all the semi-finals and finals are on Sunday.
Jack length 30 metres.
And the coverage is here on the World Bowls Tour YouTube stream, and is full commentary and live and in full HD. Great opener again from Craig Newton. Really settled in with these bowls now. Quite comfortable out there. Quite a character is Craig. We might see that as he settles down. Likes to chat to the crowd. Likes to get involved. And Clifford just not finding his line here at all yet. Another tight bowl. Oh, yeah, Craig's in the area again. Well, Clifford looks down a better line here. Nice little swoop back to the jack. Oh, a lot better here, Clifford. A lot better here. Yeah, that's more what we used to see from Clifford Craig. That'll be a nice
One
settler
red.
for the Irishman. Oh, Craig looks in the area. He looks very close. He's just going to slip by. That's it, Craig. Just remember the cameras. We want our viewers to see all the action, and we want to see if Clifford can find that line again. Looks a tad on the tight side again. And short now. There's an opportunity for Craig Newton here, and I think he'll take it. I think he'll look to be down at the green bowl to try and chip the red bowl out. That's what he was looking at. He's got the back position covered as well, so he could play this off either hand, but I think the way that Craig's mind's working, he can play it down the backhand there, any sort of edge off his own green bowl, red bowl out, gets him a count. Well, he's in the area. He's very close here. He's very close to perfect. He might have just been a little bit unfortunate there, but almost the perfect bowl. Great effort.
One red.
Yeah, the marker just confirming there it's still one to Clifford Craig, and quite a bit of room there, Clifford, to draw another. Times like this that you have to take your opportunities. And some of my other commentary colleagues would call it, this is a spare. You've got to take your chances when you've got that shot to make a count where there's quite a... And he looks down a good track here. All on pace with this one. Yep, in the area. Yeah, a nice two for Clifford Craig there, gets him on the board.
2 shots to Clifford Craig.
Well, that'll be a settler for Clifford. Let's see a slight change of length here. Clifford will have to use all his knowledge and experience from the indoor game here to try and outfox
Jet length 27.5 metres.
the crown greener, Craig Newton. Craig plays most of his outdoor bowls, crown green, at the Lower Hopton Club. He's a surveyor from over Normanton Way, which for those that you don't know, is over the Leeds Way in Yorkshire. And he has a lovely little daughter called Mia, who I'm sure will be supporting her dad and wanting him to do well here. And Clifford Craig plays for the Belfast Indoor Bowls Club. Great venue, one that I very, very much enjoy going to. And he has 2 sons, Jamie and William. William normally comes to the events with him, but of course we're in school time now, but I'm sure they'll get the opportunity to watch their dad playing on this YouTube stream. And Clifford's a self-employed electrician. fact, I think the first time I ever met him, he was on some scaffolding at Belfast Indoor fixing some lights. I thought he was an electrician, and then I think I had the unfortunate experience of drawing him in one of the early round games. I've since got my revenge on him later on, but that was the very first year that I ever met Clifford.
2 green.
Well, again, Clifford's facing a 2-shot deficit at this end. See Rob Chisholm in the background there watching his friend play. The Iceman. The Iceman's features in the second of these tour cards. He plays the last game tomorrow afternoon. And Clifford's certainly struggling here to just find his pace. Craig looking to cover the possible runner. Some sort of trail. While you're holding 2, it's often best to just defend. Make sure your opponent can't score a 3 or a 4 somewhere. Of course, this venue here at Blackpool Newton Hall is part of the Partington's holiday group. It's a caravan site with great facilities here, and we're playing on the Bona Fide Club Rink 2. We've got a blue carpet here at the club, and unlike the portable rink, it's a fair distance. Is this one of the longest in the country? And Clifford's very close here. Yep, great result there. I'm not sure how far through that last bowl's gone, but he's definitely counted a 2 out of it. A bit of room for Craig to save the situation.
2 red.
Yeah, Dan just confirming there that Clifford currently holds 2. And Craig just got a 4-hand draw to try and save here. So there you go, he's playing the backhand. You see that typical twist of the wrist that you get from the crown greeners. He's looking positive here. He's looked to play through at this jack. He just missed it.
2 shots to Clifford Craig.
So after 4 ends, Clifford Craig now leads 4-3. Been a very, very interesting 4 opening ends here from these 2 players. Again, Clifford bringing the mat up a little bit. Just trying to settle down to a length. Shake up the length and line of Craig Newton. These Co-operative Funeral Care
Jack length 25.5 metres.
European Masters Tour cards are much sought after, and they've been proved to work, so to speak, because Blackpool Newton's Hole's own Mark Dawes won a tour card here last year, was very, very successful when he got to the Scottish International Open, the International Open and the World Championships, and managed to bag himself a top 16 place. So the prize at stake for these players, very, very important. Great opener there from Clifford Craig, he's really settled down now. Good reply from Craig Newton. Clifford just found that tight. Just needed to reach really to get to
1 green.
Craig's bowl. Yeah, Dan Blewett just confirming that Craig Newton drew that shot there. With very swingy bowls. All about line and length with this one. Line's very, very good. Length's just over, but that's not in a bad place.
Craig's bowl is fractionally past Jack High.
And Clifford's still just looking to try and draw to that. He turns his own bowl over once, it's good. If he reaches shot bowl, it's good. But to do that, you need to reach. I think he might just be tight again. Might get to his own bowl here. Promote that. Yeah. Has he done it? Come on, Dan, let us know what the situation is.
1 red.
Yep, successful then. And Craig's got a similar sort of shot then, really. Unless he opts, he's looking down the forehand to... Doesn't hang about, doesn't Craig? Always sees the positive shot. He's in the area for it. Just a bit unlucky there, really. Craig Newton battled his way through the qualifiers at Lincoln. Yeah, he never gives up. He always will back himself. Always fancies that he's got the shot to sort a game out. But when you meet the experience of somebody like Clifford Craig, but as some would say, it's all on the day. And the winner of this game would step into the semi-finals on Sunday morning. You see the difference in delivery there. Clifford Craig, very, very fluid delivery with his hand, follows through straight hand delivery. Whereas if you watch Craig Newton, he twists his wrist over. A lot of crowners do that. A lot of times they've got to go great distances, and sometimes that little extra flick of the wrist can get you an extra couple of yards. I'm sure the crown greeners out there that are watching and listening to this would be able to back me on that. A lot of crown green players do have that flick of the wrist. Very, very quick players as well. Shot clock wouldn't bother Craig. Oh, he's on a very good line. All about weight here. All about weight. His own ball might have just wrecked him.
1 shot to Clifford Craig.
Nice few in watching this morning. Early start for some to get here to watch.
Jack length 25 metres.
It's a nice day outside as well. A few of them are out crown greening now. And Blackpool, one of the hotbeds of crown green. Mentioned earlier, Clifford did say to mention that everybody will smile when we mention that his nickname's Hong Kong Trunker, and he's playing against Well, some nickname him Newty, Craig Newton. The other recent one that he got was Craig Scrambler Newton, because he has a habit of scrambling his way through games. He never gives up. Neither of these players give up. They're both very, very experienced players, play a lot of bowls. That's down a good line here. On your weight, I think, Clifford. I think he's too happy with that, just overplayed it.
One green.
Just managed to sneak it with that, I think. Neither player really settled down 100% yet. This is just overplayed as well. Well, I don't think that's on the high line at all for this hand. Very, very swingy hand, the forehand coming back down towards where the spectators' entrance is, which is just to your left of your screen at the moment. And we have a wooden floor here at Blackpool Newton Hall, so you can probably hear the creaky floorboards.
One green.
Especially when the TV set goes in, it makes it a very, very enclosed arena, which tends to show up the slightest noise. Right, Clifford, line and length. That's all this job's about. Line and length, get as close to that jack as you can. It's on a better line. All about the length now. Oh, he's running through again. Oh, he will be disappointed with that. Gives Craig Newton a huge chance for a count of 2 here.
One green.
Which would level the setup. Well, some would say he didn't seem to like that, but knowing Craig, he has a lot of different mannerisms. And he's just drawn the perfect second shot.
Okay. 2 shots to Craig Newton.
Well, that ties the setup after 6 ends at 5 all. 9 end sets. A lot of people say the 7th end is the crucial end. One of the players can pick up a couple of shots here. It puts them in the driving seat towards the back end and the crucial part of the set. Craig keeping the mat back. Going that bit longer. Jack now.
Jack length 30 metres.
Well, it's all about who nails this now with the opening bolt, and Craig Newton looks on a great line. Length's good as well. Both of these players put a lot of effort into bowls as well. They don't just play the game, they get involved with competitions if they're being organised at their venues. Oh, great reply. Craig Newton will be glad he was in there first. Good line again from Craig Newton here. Oh, if he slots another one in here, it puts Clifford under all sorts of pressure, really.
2 green. No, there's a gap of 3 inches. Your bowl is 16 inches short of jack high.
Oh, Clifford, I might just have overplayed this, but anything behind gives him a chance now.
2 green.
Craig Newton needs to be getting really between the jack and that last bowl. Like I say, Crown Greeners sometimes see the game slightly different to the indoor players, and they play a lot more aggressive game.
Yes.
Some of the strikers at the Crown Green game
3 green.
really hit and hit hard. Craig's not one of the biggest strikers in the Crown Green game, but he does have a good running bowl. Now, Clifford, what's your decision? You might favour to have a bit of a dabble down the forehand here. Danger is if he gets the wrong side of his own ball and flicks it out. He then puts a lot of pressure on his last ball, but he's currently 3 down. Needs to be changing something here. Does not want to drop a 3 at the 7th end of this first set. The most you really want to be dropping is a 1. But if you're going to go positive, a lot of players say that your third bowl's the one to do it with. Looks like he's I think he's still thinking, yeah. Now we're going to see one of the bigger guns. On target. No, he played that down the backhand. But he might have favoured playing it down the forehand. Now Craig Newton needs to go deep, because I think Clifford Craig's set himself a task now. Got to do something similar again, so Craig Newton needs to cover for that. Something deep, covering the spot on the left hand side of your screen would be ideal. Yep, must have heard me. Well, he only just missed the target. Slight correction on the last delivery. He's played it with a little bit more of a timing weight. His weight plays very, very well on this rink. And he's looking close to it. Oh, he's got 1 away. Oh, that's better than the 3, Clifford.
2 shots to Craig Newton.
So Craig Newton leads after 7 ends of this first set. 7-5. Don't forget, at the World Bowls Tour events we play 2 sets of 9 ends. Qualifiers are 2 sets of 7 ends with a 3-end tie break, but the events when you get to the finals are 2 sets of 9 ends. Just gives you a little bit more scope, a little bit more time to get settled and get things back.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Craig Newton gets a jack header, as we would say in Crown Green, where he's actually right nailed the jack. He puts an awful lot of pressure on Clifford Craig in this first set. Oh, a bit of a loose opener. I think Clifford just played under the line again here, but it'll probably hold to be shot bowl. Well, a good reply from Clifford here. Just sits. Yeah, looks like shot bowl to me.
One green.
Oh, Craig. Oh, he's not happy with this. I don't think he thinks he's there. No, he's not. Perfect line. A similar bowl to your last, Clifford. Even a little touch on that jack would be handy. Well, I'm not sure about that at all. And I'm sure Clifford's scratching his head and wondering what he's done himself there. Great opportunity to get 2. And Craig's on a good line here, but he's turned his back on it. He's short.
Yes. 2 seconds.
Well, I think that question to the marker gives you a clue as to what Clifford will be trying to play here. It's dangerous removing his own bowl. I think he's tight again. Not finished yet. Oh, immediately apologising to his opponent for that. That was definitely not an expected result by a long way. But these things happen with bowls.
One shot to Clifford Craig.
And there's so many bowls in the head at the flat green indoor game. We play with 4 bowls each. Those sort of things happen. Can be very cruel, but it's part of the game. So Clifford steps up the rink. With Norton's their length down again.
Jack length 25 metres.
So we're playing the last end of this first set. Craig Newton is one shot ahead. Always good to get the first set under your belt. Guarantees you, at the very worst, getting into the tie break. Both these players have got a lot of work to do at this end to see who comes out the winner of this set. And a good opener from Clifford. Still just playing under the line. Now Craig, that's on a great line. All on his pace. I'm just going to finish a touch short. I think he's just asked somebody to go and get him a cloth there. Must be getting warm out there for
2.5
the
feet.
players. Oh, Clifford looks under the line. If he's got a bit of pace, he might promote his own bowl. Holding the two he needs for the first set. Right, Craig, he'll be short at this. Didn't like something there. Shows a lot of emotion on a rink, does Craig Newton.
2 red.
And Clifford won't want to make this target any bigger, he'll just be wanting to slip behind. Oh, that's a good bowl there. Right, Craig, you need to be doing something now if you want to win this first set. Yeah, he's played to play the jack through. It's quite a wide line there. He definitely played for the win of the set there. You know, he could have just drawn in to get a good second, which would have guaranteed him the draw. Clifford just going up to have a look what he needs to cover now to make Craig Newton's job harder. Good line here. Just wants to slip past that bolt. Doesn't want to go off the rink. Oh, Craig. Oh, he's a better line. But it's an all or nothing shot really, is this? The marker just waiting to see
Craig.
what
2 shots in the first set to Clifford Craig.
Craig Newton was willing to concede there. So a count of 2. gives Clifford Craig the first set 8-7. A very interesting first set that. Swung backwards and forwards. Nobody really looked to take control of it. Well, Clifford will be pleased to have scraped over that first set line. I think the choice of shot of Craig Newton in that last end would have puzzled a few. But
Jack
again,
length 28.5 metres.
that comes down to the tactics of the game and how indoor players play it slightly differently to crown greeners. At crown green you only have 2 bowls. Whereas the indoor game's a very, very tactical game, all about where you're placing your bowls, trying to close your opposition. Well, let's see who makes the mark on this first end of the second set. Good ball there from Craig. Clifford just looking under the line again. If he's a length, he might just get shot. Might just sit out now. And Craig just wants to repeat his first delivery, get another one in the head. And he's close. Oh, good ball, Craig Newton.
2 green.
Got to put the disappointment of losing that first set out of his mind. He stood there shaking his head. Why didn't I do that at the last end of the first set, he's saying to himself. That's probably still 2 green, yeah. Down below it, just confirming that. Another repeat delivery from Craig Newton required. Just took that jack away. Looks on the high side here. It's not a wasted bowl back there. I didn't like that delivery. Just too wide. Tried to play the trundler into the head. Craig just needs to adjust now and just took that jack away. Just overplayed it again. Not a bad home there at all. Clifford coming to have another look. Bit too late for that. 2 green, methinks.
2 shots to Craig Newton.
Well, second set started like the first set. 2-0 to Craig Newton after one end. Craig will go back to his usual longer length.
Jack length 31.5 metres.
As I mentioned before, Blackpool Newton Hall here is one of the longest rinks in the country. I think somebody said to me that compared to the portable rink, I think there's another 6 feet on top of that. Good opener there from Craig Newton. Craig's on a good line again. Might just give up a little bit on the short side.
One green.
Well, again, Craig might just be failing that little bit short. He might have punched his own in, but still looks to just be that touch short.
Just the one.
Both hands are really blocked for the draw here. Clifford might opt to just play through at this. Jack or bowl would be good. He's under the line. Can he get a bit of that Irish look he had in the first set? And Craig's looking to get past the short bowl of Clifford Craig's there. If he swings back now, anywhere now's good. That's a good bowl from Craig.
Two green.
And Clifford's still got the chance of going again here. Just needs to adjust his line. There's still the chance. Either bowl, jack through. And if he gets a slide off his own bowl, what he doesn't want to do is take his own bowl out the head and drop a 4. But I think his short bowl's probably covering that likelihood. Oh, looks down a better line here. Very close with this, Clifford. Oh, the perfect bowl. Well played, Clifford Craig.
One shot to Clifford Craig.
Perfectly timed down the channel there. Jack clean into the ditch. One shot to Clifford Craig. So we stand at 2-1 to Craig Newton after 2 ends of the second set. First set went to Clifford Craig, 8-7. And I'm sure Clifford will be bringing this mat up a little bit. Nice view of the Co-operative Funeralcare bowling mats there. Of course, the Co-operative Funeralcare, the sponsor of our European Masters finals here at Blackpool Newton Hall Holiday Park. And who will win the 2 tour cards for 2015? Oh, Craig. Clifford, have you thrown that jack off? Yeah, not happy. Craig, you've got a chance of setting your own length here again. Of course, a few of you will be watching this live and in full HD at work. If you've got any spare time over the weekend and you fancy popping down to Blackpool, there are still tickets and seats available.
Jet length 29.5 metres.
Come and give the guys some support. We've got some really top class games coming up over the next 2 days. So these players are playing for a tour card which gets them into the 3 World Bowls Tour ranking events for the next season. And that's vital to get these ranking points. Great lead bowl there from Clifford Craig. Perhaps that's the length you should have been playing, Clifford. Well, there's quite a few of the players here this weekend that are just outside the top 16. One of them in particular who just dropped out of the top 16 this season. Managed to qualify for this to give himself a chance of getting back into the top 16. He's in the other tour card draw, Simon Skelton. And he's here live tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So like I say, a few tickets and seats available for the week. Fancy coming down to watch, just contact us here at Blackpool Newton Hall. Oh, close here from Craig Newton. Oh, what a good bowl. Both these players finding good bowls. It's just the consistency that they both just seem to be just lacking at the moment. Both used to playing the big games though, so I don't think the nerves will be playing an effect now. Well, Clifford's watching this. It looks under the line to me, Clifford.
Ever so slightly short.
There you go, the flick of the wrist there. Actually on the point of delivery, when he's just let go of the ball, his hand's actually turned the wrong way up. Good ball there from Craig Newton.
2 green.
Decisions. If he could just pop that jack out, he has best back position. Just needs to reach onto those 2 bowls of Craig Newton's. Try and pop that jack out. Ideal connections off the front of the 2 bowls. Line looks very good. Oh, it was 6 and 2 threes there. The little edge off the short bowl might have straightened him up, but it just hung off the target. And Craig can't afford to play down there and pop that jack out himself. These big swingy bowls will make it all the way back if the perfect length. He's a great line. He's a great line here. Well, Craig Newton nearly swung all the way back.
Two shots to Craig Newton.
2 shots to Craig Newton gives him a 4-1 lead after 3 ends of the second set. Oh, interesting game here. As I mentioned earlier, it was always going to be on the cards to be interesting. Crown Greener Craig Newton versus one of the most experienced, highly capped and respected Irishmen on the indoor bowls circuit. Of course, Clifford plays outdoors flat green as well.
Jack length 31 metres.
He had a bit of a smile this morning just before he went onto the rink, Clifford Craig, because he's quite well known for not only being nicknamed Hong Kong Trunker, but also because his favourite song's Yellow Submarine. And of course he's in the neck of the woods for the Yellow Submarine up here, the northwest of England. And he'll have passed the Yellow Submarine when he flew into Liverpool Airport from Belfast. There is a Yellow Submarine just outside the doors there, of course in tribute to the Beatles. So I did promise I'd mention that for Clifford. Oh, Craig Newton's close again here. Oh, definitely settled down in this second set. Like I say, he'll still be hurting a little bit from losing the first set. It was a very, very ropey last end. I'm sure after the game he'll be telling me all about that end, whether he wins or loses this game. Well, Clifford's not hanging about. Running straight for the 2 bowls. 2 bowl splits the perfect result. And he's got one away. This is just a question of repeat that delivery. Get another one in that head. Well, you've got a player running at bowls. You know you've got them worried. But Clifford Craig's such a good exponent of the running bowl.
1 green.
Oh, that's tightened his line up for him. Craig Newton won't put that there on purpose though. He certainly wouldn't have intended to do that. It's forced Clifford Craig to play down the other hand. Oh, wants the jack here. Looking for the jack clean. Got it clean. Almost a repeat of a delivery of earlier. Now, that could just be unfortunate. Our great camera view there shows that there's a green bowl of Craig Newton's there. Very, very close to the edge of the ditch. Sure Dan Blewett will let us know shortly who's holding shot. And Craig Newton needs to get another bowl about, just needs to slip past this red bowl. He's urging it on. Urging it on.
1 green.
Oh, it's just one. If Clifford Craig can see the bolt, might be able to pick it out. There's a chance at the moment he might have 2 seconds. Pretty close.
One shot to Craig Newton.
one shot to Craig Newton gives him a 5-1 lead after 4 ends of the second set. The first set went to Clifford Craig. Very interesting game for the spectators out there. And I'm sure you viewers at home are enjoying this live
Jack length 30 metres.
live bowls on the World Bowls Tour YouTube stream. Bit of concentration there on Craig Newton's face. Great line here. All about your weight. When I questioned Craig Newton earlier today on the fact that on the programme it actually says that his club's unattached, he's unattached to a club, he said the unattached referred to the fact that he's single. So ever the humour. But I know he's bought his young daughter Mia a small set of bowls, trying to encourage her early on. Well, he's going to be in the count for 2 here. Right, Clifford, we just need to adjust this length. Neither player really settled down to a consistent length. It'll be interesting to see how the players after lunch cope, because obviously early doors you've got people coming in and out of the arena, so the doors are opening. The temperature slightly adjusts. Quite warm out there though.
2 green.
Another one in there from
3
Craig
green.
Newton, but there's a lot of room there for Clifford Craig. Just find that line length. That's all this game's about. Line and length. Sounds easy when you sat here. Never play a bad bowl sat here. It's far harder when you're out there and the pressure's on. This looks a good line. And a good length. Oh, just a touch under.
1 red.
Oh, nothing for that, Craig. Should have been reaching to that really. Any sort of tickle on the jack would have been in his favour. Chance for Clifford Craig to draw a second here. Good track again out on that high line. Might have just stopped short.
One shot to Clifford Craig.
That one shot means that after 5 ends of this second set, Craig Newton leads 5-2. Right, Clifford Craig's taking the mat up. He might have just gone a little touch further by the looks of it.
Jack length 25.5 metres.
Oh, Clifford, can you nail this with your first bowl? He's definitely been preferring the shorter jacks. It's not a bad opener, just drifting a little bit, but always better just behind. Good reply here from Craig Newton. He's a battler, he won't want to see this game slip away, he'll want to fight all he can. Clifford Craig's got a good chance here of just adjusting his last delivery. Resting on Craig Newton's jack ball next to the jack would be ideal. He's close. He's very close. Touch on that jack. Well, he might have just been unlucky.
1 green.
I think this is just going to die on you, Craig.
1 green.
Well, he can afford to be that little bit more positive here. He looks just slightly under the line. Needs to catch his own short bowl now onto the jack. There's a couple of chances there for Clifford. These tour card finals started with 8 European Masters events all round England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Anybody that's part of the PBA can come and have a go. There's 2 winners from each of those events. Comes here to Blackpool this week and plays off for the 2 very tasty, tempting tour cards, which would get you into all the World Bowls Tour ranking events for the next season. Good days they are. Early stages are played round robin, so if you do travel a distance to play in one, it means you're guaranteed 3 games within a round robin group, and then you play off semi-finals and final, and 2 winners from each venue go into the draw for these tour cards. Great opportunity, great experience. Oh, Clifford doesn't like that. He's shaking his head at it. Looks just under again. Now, Craig Newton's got to be very careful here. Doesn't want to tip Clifford Craig's short bowl into the head. If it tips onto the jack, he's a chance of pushing it through for Clifford counting 2. He's happy that he's holding 1 at the moment. Might have just overplayed this, but I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that. He didn't want to get back to that short bowl of Clifford Craig's.
1 shot, Craig Newton.
So after 6 ends, Craig Newton 6-2 up in the second set here at Blackpool Newton Hall in the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals 2015. Exciting times coming to the end of this second set. The winner of the game this morning would play the winner of the game at 1 o'clock this afternoon, which is between Gary
Jack
R.
length
Smith
31 metres.
and Danny Dennison. Play the winner of that in the semi-finals here on Sunday morning. Day of bowls Sunday. You've got all the semi-finals and both the finals. Full day of play Sunday. which one of these players will be here on Sunday. Well, the way it's going at the moment, it looks like we could have our first tie break of the event in the first game of the event. Clifford Craig's 4 behind with 3 ends to play. And of course Craig Newton had that very, very loose end at the last end of the first set. So Clifford will be just wanting to plod along here. Get bowls in the head, give himself a chance of taking the second set, saving a tie break.
One red.
Looks a better length, this one. I'll just slip through the gap, but only a better effort. And Clifford will be just looking to draw to those 2 bowls. Try and get another in the head for a count. Oh, good ball here from Clifford Craig. Just slipped under, but I still think it'll hold the 2 shots. Tom Blewett will confirm. Must be close.
It's very tight for second, Craig.
Oh, he's trotting down after this one. All on the pace of this. Oh, just turned away at the end.
One red.
Clifford would desperately like to count 2 at this end. Which would leave him just 2 down, playing 2 ends left in the second set. Doesn't want to get the outside edge of Craig Newton's bowl here, but a few chances, little tuck on that jack. Could even pick up a 3. He's watching it. He's watching it very closely. It looks just under the line.
One shot to Clifford Craig.
Well, that one shot gives Craig Newton a 6-3 lead over Clifford Craig with 2 ends to play. So Clifford Craig's got 2 ends to try and claw back 3 shots for a tie. A tie would do him, as he's already won the first set. Craig Newton has got to win this set to take us into a tie break. Crucial end, this one. If Clifford can count this end, all the pressure goes back on Craig. But if Craig counts a 2 at this
Jack
end...
length 25 metres. Craig Newton wants 2 shots to win the set.
There we go, confirmation off our umpire Mike Davis. Craig Newton just needs 2 shots at this end to win this set and take us into the first tie-break of the event. Well, Clifford, all on your pace of this. The line looks very good. Oh, what a great opener. When you need to stop your opponent scoring 2, and you also want to get yourself on the score at this end as well to try and close out the game in this set. That's a good line from Craig Newton. Oh, these boys are coming on to a really good game now. The pressure's on. Great bowl from Craig Newton there.
1 green. 2 inches gap.
Clifford Craig will be saying to himself, gosh, I put one close and he beats it. Oh, great effort. And Craig will be wanting to repeat the last delivery. Slot another one in there. All the pressure's on Clifford Craig. It looks a great line. He just has a tendency of just dropping short. With his second delivery, if he's nailed it with his first. Clifford might be tempted on the chip here. He gets his own centre bowl. Craig Newton's goes out the head. He's looking for just a couple of yards on pace. He's down the right line for it. Just held off there. I thought that looked a good line from his hand. It's the only danger when you put your second bowl short. You put yourself under all sorts of pressure for the indoor player to try and chip your bowl out. Well, what's your pace like this time, Craig? I'll be happy with that. Anything behind. Clifford's still got the shot though. His own middle bowl does take out Craig Newton's bowl. If he could stun and stay, he could count 3. Even if he just clips it out, he holds 2. Whole different ball game going into the last end of this second set if that happens. Well, his last delivery looked good from his hand. Perhaps just a little bit over-paced to let it have any sort of chance of getting back, and he does need that angle on that bowl. Worth a try again, Clifford. Big bowl this now. Well, he's definitely down a tighter line. Right, all on the connection now. Well, I think that gives...
2 shots in the second set to Craig Newton. Match tie break.
We're into our first tie break. Craig Newton picks up the second set. 8-3 after 8 ends. Clifford Craig won the first set 8-7. Match tie break. Now this is all about who wins the end.
Clifford won the toss and has given the jack to Craig in the first end.
So this is all down to who wins the end. Shots are irrelevant. It's the first player to win 2 out of the 3 ends. Clifford's elected to give Craig Newton the jack at the first end. He won the toss, so therefore he gets the choice of first and third end jack delivery, whether he wants to give it away or keep it. And it means in the second end, Craig Newton gets the choice
Jack
of who
length
takes the
31.5
jack.
metres.
Well, nervy times when you're going to a tie break. All about nailing it with your first bowl. That's a great length. Well, this looks on a high line. I've been saying that Clifford's put bowls down tight for most of the game. That might just show him how far those bowls will swim back. Still all about who nails this first. This looks down a good track. What's your weight like, Craig? Just a couple of foot short. Still room there for Clifford Craig. He's opting to change his hand here. Doesn't really matter which hand you play it, Clifford, you just want something close. Well, that looks down a good track. That looks down a great track. Well, if this swings now... Oh, it just lacked that little bit of length. This might force Craig Newton to change his hand now. Still needs to get something closer. No confirmation there of a definite shot hold. This is going to be short, I think. Well, now I think
3 green.
we might see Clifford playing down that back end. Got 2 or 3 chances really. Any sort of edge off a bowl helps. Jack through helps. He's got best back. Still anybody's end, this one. Big ball here. Yeah, he's played some really good timers today. This looks under the line. Craig Newton definitely needs to either cover that shot or try and get a better bowl in the head. I think Clifford will be looking to play the same bowl again, so Craig needs to go deep to the left hand side of your screen. He doesn't like it. Oh, he was very, very close to clipping the edge there. It's an interesting choice of shot. I think he needed to be quite a bit deeper than that. There's very, very big opportunity here for Clifford Craig. He put the last ball down tight. He'll have learnt from that delivery. Anything that little bit wider. Got the shoulder of his own green bowl. Jack through. Can you take this opportunity? Take this first end of the tie break. Looks under to me again. No. Just shows when you get to this level.
First end, Craig Newton.
Even the most experienced bowlers can just struggle that little bit. Well, first end. So this end Clifford Craig has got to win to take us into a third end of a tie break. It looks like Craig Newton's given the jack to Clifford, so I think we'll see a shorter length again. all about who wins this end. If Craig Newton wins the end, game over. If Clifford Craig wins the end, we're into the last end of the tie-break. Tie-breaks are nervy times for the players.
Jack length 25.5 metres.
But always interesting for the viewers. Gives a different element to the game. Well, looks a very good line. Ball on his pace. Yeah, great opening ball there from Clifford Craig. Have you reached, Craig? No, just drop short. Drop that yard short. Oh, another good ball there from Clifford Craig. Anything behind helps. Craig Newton needs to get something close now with this one. Just adjustment on his last by a yard will do him. Great line again. Oh, he's confident. Oh, he backs himself. Very close here. What a great ball there from the Crown Green player, Craig Newton.
On green.
Clifford's still got slight adjustment on his last bowl. Chip the bowl out. He doesn't want to be short. Try and alter something with this. Craig's bowl's virtually sat behind the jack. But Clifford will be able to see a little bit of it from the end there. He's playing a reaching bowl. I'm afraid to say today's story of the reaching bowls have been just under the line from Clifford. He's played some good runners, but there's been a lot of them that have been just under the line. He'll be disappointed. Now, what are you going to cover here, Craig? He's in a great position here. Clifford Craig's got one bowl left to save this game. Craig Newton's out on the very, very wide side this time. Oh, that's a great bowl. Having a bit of a laugh with the crowd there. A few Crowners in this morning to watch him. He's off back home tonight to Yorkshire because he's got his daughter this evening. I'm sure she'll be wanting to watch her dad play on the YouTube. Right, Clifford Craig, this bowl to keep yourself in this event. He's opted for the runner again. Looks on a better line. Looks on a far better line here. Very, very close, Clifford. Very close. Now this is all on where that bowl finishes. I would favour last bowls won it.
One red.
A lot of room there, but it's never easy when the boards are down and those advertising boards are on the side. What sort of line do you take? Which hand do you play? Big decision here for Craig Newton. Needs to beat that last bowl. Don't think he likes it, but then again, his mannerisms, you can never quite tell with Craig. Looks a good line to me. Looks a good line to me. Where's this finishing? Well played, Craig Newton.
Second end of the match to Craig Newton.
Craig Newton steps into the semi-finals where he'll play the winner of this afternoon's game. We have live and in full HD, full commentary this afternoon again from 1 o'clock. Thanks for your company this morning. Craig Newton, the man from the Crown Green, steps into the semi-finals here of the Co-operative Funeral Care European Masters 2015.
Once more, ladies and gentlemen, give both players a round of applause. And we'll just have a quick interview with both players at the top end.
You there, Richard, and if we can have the two players here. If you could just stand there for me, please.
You ready? Well, guys, cracking match all the way to the very end. And, you know, I'm sure the audience enjoyed it. Clifford, you've come a long way over from Ireland. Haven't quite made it. And my commiserations to you. But would you do it again?
Do it all the time. I think it's a great event, Richard. And if you're not in it, you can't win. You know, it is hard to qualify. But this was a great game. Could have went either way, and I was happy enough with the way I played now. But Craig just played the big balls the right time. That was the difference in the game.
Yeah, well, again, for some of the audience that don't know, of course, you played in Ireland for this, and like I said, it's a long way to come. I've had the pleasure of coming over to your place and playing, and I believe we've got another Irishman tomorrow, Clifford.
Yes, Mark McPeak's coming over, another quality player. So if you win these qualifiers, you have to be doing something right to win them because it's tough opposition, and Mark's another quality player, so hopefully Mark will go on to go a wee bit better than I did.
Yeah, well, again, commiserations, Clifford, and thanks ever so much for coming over. Well, young man, Crown Greener, and, again, I had the pleasure of watching you play in the qualifiers, and I think you called it a scramble.
Yeah, it certainly was a scramble to get through, but I think today's been a high-quality game for the first game up. I mean, it's early in the morning, but, I mean, Clifford's played his part, and, thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't fault it.
Yeah, well, I did watch the match, and there are a couple of ends where, to be honest, the woods were sprayed a little bit, but then that was halfway through the first set, and then you seemed to find your line fairly well, and your drawing capabilities really came to the fore, and I think you seemed to steady yourself down a bit.
Yeah, after losing the first set, I seemed to relax, and I play better when I'm relaxed, and the second set was, not going through the motions, but I just seemed to hit the right line and the right length at the end, and just happened to scrape home.
Well, once again, well done, Craig. Good luck in your next round, and thank you very much to both of you gentlemen. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the afternoon commences at 1 o'clock, and we have 3 matches. It's continuous play this afternoon, so hopefully we'll see you all back for 1 o'clock. Enjoy your lunch.